Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
J-Lo's currently going viral for the most ridiculous and hilarious reason. She's getting called out by her ex-husband after saying something ridiculous on the Howard Stern show. I'm going to go through it all, including his response. But before we get started, what is it with these 90s starlets that we fawned over from media perspective, right? These were the it girls, the most beautiful, talented, attractive. And then you watch them go into relationship after failed relationship, trying all of these different flavors of men out, right? They're getting married, they're getting engaged, they're getting divorced, they're breaking up, right? Like, and you watch them go up on these podcasts or these talk shows, and they blame everybody else except for themselves. It's crazy. Like you're watching constant failure, and the common denominator within all of your failures is you, but somehow it's someone else's problem. It's someone else's fault. You refuse to take accountability. You move the goalpost. You deflect into infinitum, and then you get up on these podcasts and act like the man that you in a relationship with was not going to respond. Shout out to Holly Berry. We just did content on her not too long ago where David Justice was like, she's a liar. Now we have J-Lo, and let's just get into the content. So J-Lo's first husband, Johnny Noah, has taken to his social medias, pissed off at what she said. Now, let's review what she said on Howard Stern first.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them. They need to appreciate the little person inside of them.
They have little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's not
gave me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
All
a
the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't.
and didn't know you.
Yo,
And I didn't love myself.
this
Do you
is
think
so
you've truly been loved?
delusional?
No.
She cycles through men, and it's the man that's the issue. Has nothing to do with her. It's not that I'm not lovable. They're not capable of loving. Holy moly. Now, let me go forward in this post because it demonstrates, the brother is right there, Johnny Noah from 1997 to 1998. My brother got out there quick. And, we're going to go through the whole, now, J-Lo's list it looks like the United Nations, to be honest. All right, from 2000 to 2002, Chris Judd, Ben Affleck, 2002 to 2004, they were just engaged. Mark Anthony, married for 10 years, but they separated back in 2011. J-Lo and Casper Smart, I think he was a dancer or something like that. They dated for just 5 years, and I believe that he was way younger than her. J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez engaged for 4 years. And then again, J-Lo and Ben Affleck were married for 3 more years, and of course, not anymore. Now, these are just a plethora of men that she's publicly acknowledged, right? It's got nothing to do with whatever she's able to hide within her private life. Nevertheless, let's go into the comments from the estranged ex-husband, starting up at the top. He says, "Stop putting us down. Stop putting me down with your victim card. The problem, it's not us, not me. The problem, it's you." I'm guessing that English is not his first language, and I just see him like in a Target, just pissed off, just firing this all off on his damn IG story. just angry at the bullshit, right? Like, you're the one who couldn't keep it in your pants. God damn. J-Lo was out here being a married 304 bop hoe. Huh? You cheated on my man, Johnny, J-Lo. Oh, but it's him not able to love you, correct? You have been loved a few times. You've been married 4 times and have countless relationships in between. You have had good relationships. Me, for example, I was in love with you. I even moved out the state, leaving my job, my family, and friends. behind to support you, to love you, to protect and care for you. I'm an amazing, loving person, great human being, honest, faithful to you, never lied, never misbehaved, never cheated on you. I was too good for you. I was too good of a man for you. But you chose that feminism bullshit. Yeah, you chose the fame and fortune and dick. Doesn't say that. I'm just adding that on. Moving a part of our relationship. You decided to lie, to cheat on me. And even though I stayed,
shame.
I even tried to keep the marriage going and alive. After she got porked down, my guy, you too good of a guy, all right? But that's why she didn't respect you, because you were too good to her. You didn't recognize the key indicators and the red flags at the damn door, and you thought you can salvage it after she got her back rearranged by some entertainment icon back in 1999. You even begged me to stay because at the time, you didn't want bad press, caring more about you. Tell the truth for once, you selfish harlot. Let the people know that you are the problem. You should be embarrassed, ashamed of yourself.
Do you think you've
That's
truly
the rest of
been
the comments. All right. Now, I absolutely believe this man, and similar to the David Justice situation talking about Halle Berry, David Justice, after Halle Berry, got into a long-standing marriage to a woman that he's still married to today, denoting that he was less of the problem of what than Holly was from a relationship perspective. This guy, the same. Doesn't have all these marriages and divorces and is damn sure not getting up on the internet shaming somebody that he was married to 30 years ago. So I absolutely believe him. And why I'm never a fan of men going back and forth with women on the internet, I do think that because she's this much of a public figure, saying public shit, and she influences women to act, think, feel, breathe like her. So if so, you deserve criticism and receipts of somebody that can call you out for the truth, especially if you're a cheater.
Oh, J-Lo, after 6 engagements and 4 marriages / divorces, now you're going to do something different. You're going to focus on yourself. Dare I say that I think that is precisely what your problem has been. Here's the thing. Marriage is not about focusing on yourself. It's about showing up for the other person as much as you'd like for them to show up for you. You give what you'd like to receive, Jen. And until, if ever, she, and honestly, we as a society realize that, we will keep walking into relationships expecting withdrawals from an account that we never deposit into. But hey, self-care, right? Dive deep, Jen. Hope you have time in that soul schedule for some, healing.
Yeah.
Or another engagement, whatever. We'll stay tuned. Keep focusing on yourself, but don't be surprised when the only person left in your next marriage is you.
Yeah, and then they want to marry themselves and shit. By the way, it is amazing to see women of today finally understanding the bullshit that is being fed to them, and they're finally responding back in a way that I think is appropriate, shaming these influencers and calling out the cope when they see it. The cope fascinates me because you can't talk to people like this. They put themselves in their own delusion. So you can't have an in-reality conversation with somebody who places themselves in a delusion. And truth be told, like we talk about this lack of accountability within modern women today. You must think of where that comes from. Let's not let the conversation stop at they're just not accountable. Why are they not accountable? The reason is because of self-preservation. They're trying to do everything within their power to avoid shame, to avoid consequences, to avoid appearing wrong. They're trying to do everything in their power to scapegoat accountability so that they do not have to focus on fixing themselves. It's purely a self-defense mechanism, and I'm starting to think it's biological, right? In order to incur less depression in your life, perhaps, because they're so easily overwhelmed. They'll just put themselves in a reality that is not real, a reality where nobody else had the capability to love, even though you decided to say yes to marriage engagements to all of these men. Nobody else had the capability. I had the capability, but they didn't have the capability. This wild self-preservation, which is leading to their lack of accountability, it's not healthy, right? It doesn't promote maturity or growth, but it's just a self-defense mechanism that hinders emotional maturity. It stunts their growth and as well as their personal development. Nevertheless, I know some people out there are like, well, where did she get this from? Where is she picking up all of this bullshit behavior? Well, she talked about it.
My mom was narcissist, center of attention, life of the party type person. I got very used to being around people like that.
Oh.
The combination of the two of those things set me on a course to be with those type of people. What I started to realize was I'm comfortable with this, but I don't like this.
J-Lo just got a knack for throwing loved ones or former loved ones under the bus, huh? How dare
Mom
they?
was narcissist, center of attention,
And then like, you're like, where did you even? The producers of this show said, listen, find us the most destructive photo of your mother that you possibly can. And she's got tu madre up here acting as El Sucia. It seems like self-reflection and focusing on oneself is the absolute kryptonite to these Hollywood ass women. They will do anything but to obfuscate reality and place blame on everybody, right? And then end up picking up the worst habits of those around them. Arguably one of the most beautiful women walking around in the 90s, and because she's been so praised throughout her life, so pampered throughout her life, and she worked hard to get there to a degree, depending upon your definition of work hard, but we ain't gonna go there, right? That's all allegedly shit. But when you're surrounded by yes people, right, accountability becomes foreign. So it's very easy for them to live in this bubble where every bad decision gets excused and failed relationships gets blamed on the other person until they get up on a podcast and say some shit and the people that was in their history come out and they're just like, nah, liar.
I've heard people say, something must be wrong with Halle Berry. She can't keep a man. Who's to say I want to keep a man? I don't want to keep the wrong man. Like, I'm not crazy.
No.
Right?
No.
So when you find that you make a mistake, we all make mistakes. We have a right to say, oh God, this was a mistake. Let me start again. We have a right to do that.
Beautiful women do the ugliest things. Some of the most beautiful women walking around in the 90s often thought of as certifiable 10s, killers of the entertainment industry. But I just find it so interesting. It is fascinating but these are the ones that from a relationship perspective didn't get it right. And these are the ones that follow the feminist dogma, the feminist protocol to a T, which is why I am so active in talking about the behaviors or the actions that come off of that behavior model. And although I call out J-Lo and Holly, it's not just them. The list is ever growing. Hollywood it girls that cycle through men, chases validation, and call it empowerment instead of what it is, which is sad as shit, or a coping mechanism, or an inability to be held accountable through your self-preservation. But all right, I think I'm done with the content, at least for right now. But guys, I want you to let me know what it is that you think about all of this. I mean, it simply fascinates me, and I'm beginning to think like it's like a self-defense mechanism that may be more biological in nature and less learned, right? Hear me out. Because to make it to this degree of notoriety, you have to deal with people, talking about, critiquing, right? Like just as many people might be bringing you up, there might be also people bringing you down. And I think that in order to protect from the bringing down, right? Because the parasocial relationship, whether it be on the internet or pre-internet, when it was just on TV, the parasocial relationship is one of that. People don't really consider you as people. You're just like an entertainment fixture. So they can say evil things about you, but they don't feel it. And then there's no consequences for their actions. So although there's the bringing up, in order to protect from the bringing down, you have to be a degree of delusional, right? as to only focus on the positives of it so you can keep on creating whatever it is that you do to be valuable, right? I think that people that can't maintain this dynamic, they don't end up being this degree of level of famous, or they just go back into the limelight. You know what I mean? Now, while doing this, perfecting this, is necessary, I do think that are some of those that make it up there, but then it's like for everything in their life, they just avoid, right? Like, so they place themselves in this place that doesn't allow them to feel certain degrees of hits against their ego, and it manifests into these like lies that they'll make about themselves. It is so fascinating to see it play out, and we got to talk about it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment box down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself on this conversation here today, and I hope that you learned something new. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
So without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.